here today. Hey, Brooke, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Use my point of reference. If you can hear me, then I'm good. The rest of them, I don't know when they'll unmute, so I'm at home, so I figure that. Good to know. Good to know. Wait for the unmute. Give us a couple seconds here.
So Jay, can you hear us?
Hear you. A little bit of echo, but I can hear you. Let me know when we are ready to proceed, and I will call us to order.
Okay, now try again. Okay.
Yeah. Again, as long as I can hear you fine, so who's ever speaking, I'll make do with what we've got for today. Here we go. All right. We good to go, Alex?
Yeah, hey, Jay, can you just speak up a little more? I'm not sure in the room, we're not hearing as well, and I'm not sure why.
All right, I will speak up the loudest that I can. This is about it. So if you need
Brooke, is it okay for you, his volume?
Good evening.
Yeah, your volume's great. We're hearing you really good. Are you hearing Jay okay?
Yeah, I can hear Jay.
Okay, great. So we're all good, Jay. It's all yours.
All righty. Well, why don't we call to order at 7:03? We can have a roll call.
Yes. Deb Cassini-Klein. Ren Taylor.
Here.
Adam McDowell.
Here.
Brooke Rochette Williams.
Here.
Castilia. Here. Diane Law.
Here.
Jay Doran.
I'm still here.
And the mayor, Paul Camrat. Here. Thank you.
We got everybody here today, except for Deb. Who's all righty. Well, that being the case, rise if you are able with the Pledge of Allegiance and start our day, if you will.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hoorah. All right. Well, let's jump into my favorite month of the year, July. A lot of wonderful things happen in July. If you don't know, this is the month where the man landed on the moon, July 20th, 1969. For those of you who are not aware, special day in my household. That being the case, on special things, one of the more important things that we do is listen to our public. That being the case today, we will do the same as always. And so we will start in the room, even though I'm not in the room. So I will have kind of Alex, if you can help me through the process of who's in the room first. Stand if you're able. If you can give your name, address as a taxpayer or a resident, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak to council. So Alex, if you can kind of lead through who's in the room first.
We have one individual who would like to speak this evening in the room, and I see right now we have 2 hands up for those who are in the Zoom room.
I do see the Zooms. So if you would like to have the person in the room speak first, that would be great.
Yes, sir.
Is it all right if I remove my mask and my
Yes,
glasses?
yes, by all means.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Bill James, and my wife Eileen and I have resided at 1043 Black Forest Road for the last 28 years. While there are many things that we love about the neighborhood, we have noticed a perceptible decline in the appearance of the landscaping in front of many of the homes, especially in the spring, summer, and fall, when so many residents used to have wonderful displays of colorful perennial and annual flowers and shrubs. Today, on a quick stroll through many of the streets, you will observe far fewer wonderful flower beds and neatly trimmed shrubs, instead supplanted by minimal plantings and damaged trees and shrubs. We believe that this serious decline in the beauty of our neighborhood is directly related to the damage caused by the substantial increase in the deer population throughout the borough. My goal in speaking with you tonight is to ask you to consider the long-term implications of declining beauty in our neighborhoods, which we believe can easily result in stagnant property values and reaching a tipping point where fewer residents care about their landscape. My goal is not to blame residents, because it's easy to imagine how frustrating it is for many residents to have hundreds of dollars of plantings destroyed by deer year after year, eventually getting to the point of just giving up. Personally, we currently spend hundreds of dollars per year in deer repellents and deer-resistant plantings, coupled with vigilance, and we almost always lose the battle before the end of the season. We won't give up because we believe that it's our responsibility to our neighbors, but it's getting harder and harder to care. As public officials, I'm sure that you realize it's incredibly easy for a street to go from one or two unsightly houses to many, many more. I believe that we must begin to act now before the problem gets any worse, as it's much more difficult to bring a neighborhood back from a place of decline than it is to solve the problem before it's too late. Deer population management issues are being dealt with by some nearby boroughs, often with a goal of reducing deer-car collisions, but gladly accepting the collateral benefits of reduced damage to the landscape. I don't know if Churchill has a deer-car collision problem, but I'm suggesting that even if we don't, I'd like the Borough Council to begin thinking about the long game here, as deer population will only get larger and result in problems harder to solve. Specifically, I'd like to see some investigation into actions the borough might take to significantly reduce the deer population before the larger issues that I've identified can take hold. Thank you for your consideration of this matter.
Thank you for your comments. I will point out that previously we had an ad hoc committee that did look into the specific implications of kind of deer population management. I do think that that is something that's worth probably looking back into new action. So I think your point is well taken, and something that I'd like to see kind of immediate follow-up on. So it is something that I will address with council. It's something that I had planned to address with council anyway, and so your comments are timely, and so I appreciate them. Moving on, do we have anybody else in the room who had comments?
Yes, sir.
That being the case, I think we're moving on to Kathy Bordner.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me?
Can hear you fine, Kathy.
Okay, great. I just want to say that.
Again, if you can just state your address, and then I'll send you back after that, don't worry.
Okay, thank you. My name's Kathy Bordner, and I live at 1926 Hampstead Drive. And I want to thank all the people who supported us as we opposed the Amazon facility. We had a lot of support throughout the community, and we're very appreciative of that. But tonight I wanted to direct my comments to ask the Borough Council to consider rescinding ordinance number 755, which I believe was passed by the council in November of 2020. And to refresh your memory, I believe that this ordinance was actually written by Hillwood Development LLC and presented to the council as a text amendment. The Planning Commission signed off on it, and then the council approved it in November 2020. And the sole reason for passing that, well, I think there were a lot of reasons for passing that, but I'm not going to go into those. But a big reason was so that Hillwood could build the Amazon distribution center at the former Westinghouse site. And as we all know now, Amazon withdrew from that project. Hillwood withdrew their application for a conditional use permit. And as a result of that, the appeals against that permit became moot, and all of the court cases ended. So that proposal is no longer valid. And therefore, the reason for Ordinance 755 no longer exists. And I urge the council to rescind that ordinance number 755 so that an invalid and irrelevant ordinance is no longer on the an ordinance in the borough of Churchill. And I think that that is about all I'm going to say tonight. And I thank you very much.
For your comments, Kathy, a couple quick points. I don't know that it's entirely accurate to say that council just accepts things from individuals that it's written for council in that sense, nor that trying to identify what the purposes of council passing a particular ordinance. However, I would point out just kind of quickly that the legal matter actually I do not believe is complete. There is at least one party who is appealing or attempting to appeal the dismissals. And if I'm wrong about that, I would turn to the solicitor to correct me if I'm wrong there. But I just kind of a matter of fact, so I don't know that it's something I want to discuss any further currently.
Well, I would appreciate it if Gavin could enlighten us on that, because I was not aware that that was taking place.
I appreciate that. I asked Gavin if that is if I'm incorrect, that he would correct it. Thank you. Gavin, am I in any way incorrect to that matter?
The action where Dr. Starrett appealed the council's decision is still technically active, and Dr. Starrett has requested, has filed an appeal of the judge's dismissal. So yes, you're correct.
So as I said, it is currently still ongoing, as there is an action that is essentially appealing the dismissal. So moving on, I think we had Ms. Hill, Ms. Kerrigan Hill next.
Hi, my name's Kate Kerrigan Hill, and I live at 1441 Beulah Road. And what if Churchill Future threw a party and about 70 Churchill residents went? That party took place last night at the Skanga's house on Churchill Road, and it was fantastic. It was perfect weather. It was, everybody brought food. The Skangas provided a full bar, and we celebrated. We had name tags to make sure that everyone knew each other, and we had music, we had an open mic, and we had Dwight Ferguson who came, and we were able to thank him. And we asked him to give a speech, and he did. And he told us that this was the first time, the first group he had, that he was very, very impressed by the intellectual power in this borough and its residents. And we had a silent auction, which we were obviously fundraising, and it is a fair statement that our fundraising is over. We have taken care of our bill, and our legal fund or our legal battle paying the bill is over. However, it was also said last night that Churchill Future isn't going anywhere. We made it known that we are sticking around. We plan to incorporate, and we are always looking or want new members. We want to maintain the livability and the beauty of this borough. So we are always willing to meet with council, work with council to develop something that is mutually beneficial to all of us. And we are also looking to develop and run our own council members if we council not sure what I'm trying to say. We're looking to run members of Churchill Future or other residents for council, because all of us commented last night that we would never ever have met the way we did and banded together the way we did if it were not for Churchill Future. So we just want to make it clear that we are planning to stick together, and we really do hope that we can work with council and that we never ever have to fight this battle again, because we would rather do this together, which is the way I believe it's the best way to get through life. Thank you.
You are welcome. Again, I think communities working together is always kind of the best option. Understanding that, generally, I gave a little leeway there. Generally, this is not the platform for endorsing candidates, so I'll just kind of, I know you weren't quite doing that, so we gave some leeway in that space. But yeah, always looking forward. I would suggest, in terms of the property, though, just a reminder that Churchill doesn't own the property. And as a result of that, the decisions on really kind of what is going to be developed there will be made by the owner. And you may want to reach out to the owner and see if they're amenable to conversation, because I think that would be probably the best place to talk about what the purposes or use of that property will be per the people who actually own the property. Let's see if there's anybody else that has any comments from the
I
public.
promoted Sandy Fox.
Sandy, you are up next. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Sandy Fox, 38 Holland Road. I wanted to comment, and I know that Valerie is aware of this. I understand that she has a video on her from her doorbell of a tractor trailer truck that went through Holland Road on Wednesday during the day. My husband and I were out and came back, and the street was barricaded. And I understand earlier there had been a fire truck, and Duquesne Light and Verizon was there because the tractor trailer truck went through and took all the wires down with it and kept going. So Dollar General, from what I was told, truck, but no license plate. Now, I just want to say this is not the first time that tractor trailer trucks have come down this narrow residential road that has a lot of walkers. In fact, about 2 months ago, a large tractor trailer truck came down at 3 a.m. and stopped in front of my house and idled for about 30 seconds and then went on. But I have seen them since then, and, not including what happened on Wednesday. So I understand that at the beginning of Rose Drive, there's a sign that says 4-ton weight limit. I assume that applies to Holland Road as well as the other residential roads, and clearly a large semi-tractor trailer is more than 4 tons. So I want to bring that up. I imagine Valerie has also raised that, but I didn't have internet. My neighbor on the other side of me didn't have internet, and it took some time to get it back up and Verizon back out. Even though they fixed the main line, they didn't fix the individual home line. So I want to know what the police could do about that, and any action council could take to try to make sure that tractor trailer trucks aren't using residential roads as their thoroughfare. Thank you.
I think it's a great point. Quite frankly, outside of calling the police at the time, it's going to be fairly limited in their capacity if you don't have the license plate or the information for them to track down the tractor trailer itself. You know, the weights are posted. We don't have, there have been some proposed previously traffic unit that would address kind of weights and measures, but that, you know, that's kind of gone by the wayside at this point. So I don't know that we have the capacity to do like a weigh station or something along that line. But I think ideally, you know, it is capturing the information on who the truck was, the license plate, and reporting it to the police. Without that information, I don't know what they would be able to do. Any other? But I will say with something that I will follow up with, because obviously we don't want just in general tractor trailers running down our residential streets, with the exception of, you know, a moving truck. We really shouldn't have, you know, a commercial tractor trailer trying to take a short route, because whether it's a detour or anything else, we need to understand what's happening. So it is something that we'll follow up with as well. Any other comments that we have, Alex? I don't see anybody else.
No.
All right, if that being the case, I appreciate your comments. We're going to move forward. I see your hands up, Kathy, but you've already been called, so I can't come back to you on that. We're going to move forward on to.
Hey, Jay, is that her husband that wants to speak separately?
Fully understood then. Thank you for that. I appreciate Matt for conveying that as well.
Her name is Valerie, but she just didn't say it loud enough.
All the same. So if you want to unmute, you certainly have the opportunity to speak. Order. The hand went down now. Mr. Board,
Hello there.
yes, there you go.
Thank you, Matt, for that. And I'll be very brief. We understand that the property is privately owned, but we do understand what the council can do, and that is to enact ordinances to protect this borough from bad things going over in that property. And so that's what we're asking you to do. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. I appreciate your comment. I would say, realistically, it is always our intention to have ordinances that protect the borough. Passing ordinances to specifically ensure that something doesn't happen at a specific location, i.e. a specific spot, and creating zoning for that spot may be problematic. But nonetheless, I think that generally the role of council is to always pass ordinances and zoning for the betterment of our community. Now, we don't always agree with what the betterment of our community is, but it's always, I think, the intention of all the people who sit at the table to do so. So I appreciate your comment. Do we have any other comments on the table, or should we move forward now, Alex?
Does that make any sense at all?
Want to let the caller? Or can I unmute the caller to see if they want to speak?
So we've got caller one, and therefore caller one, if you would like to speak, feel free to unmute yourself and the floor will be yours. We'll give you a couple seconds to do so. If not, we'll move forward, but if so, we will wait to make sure you have the opportunity to speak. So you're listed as call-in user one. So I'm gonna give you a couple more seconds here, and then we'll move forward if you don't unmute. Okay. Well, I think we're going to move forward then. We're going to close the public comment. We're going to move on to ordinary items to accept, starting with the minutes.
Mr. President, I move to accept the meeting minutes from the Monday, June 6th, 2022 Borough Council Workshop Meeting and Monday, June 13, 2022 Regular Council Meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the minutes are accepted without opposition. This moves us forward to, it's got listed as the mayor's report. Do we have a mayor's motion on this?
I do have a report for tonight. Like I previously said, I wasn't prepared, but I do have one.
Would you like to inform us of the report, please?
Yes, if I may. During the month of June 2022, there occurred one incident within the borough which will be addressed in this report. Our officers responded, excuse me, to 1,166 calls for service for a total of 6,545 year to date, resulting in 7 arrests. Chief Ackerley reported that the amount of magisterial fines collected for the month of June 2022 was $307.11. The total for the year 2022 is $2,987. The department's 4 police vehicles logged 5,686 miles this past month. The 2013 Ford Taurus sedan is back in service. The chief is still waiting the availability of the Ford EcoBooster Interceptor to replace the out-of-service Ford Taurus sedan. This will keep us with 5 vehicles in the fleet. The ticket summary for the month of June 2022 was 84. There were 10 parking tickets, 71 traffic tickets, and 3 non-traffic tickets issued. The major event that occurred on June 19th was a residential structure fire that consumed the home located at 826 Grand Boulevard. Tragically, despite the quick and aggressive response of the volunteer fire department, an elderly resident who was trapped on the 2nd floor of the home was unable to escape the blaze and was killed. The victim was later identified as Munang Naji, a longtime resident of Churchill Borough. Our sincere thoughts and prayers remain with the Naji family and friends. Also, our gratitude to the firefighters who fought the blaze and the many residents who answered the call for donations to support the family. This year, the officers from the Churchill Police Department will once again proudly participate in the annual Shop with a Cop event. This year's event will take place on Sunday, August 28, 2022 at Macy's store located in the Monroeville Mall. Each participating police department is tasked with selecting 2 kids from their respective community who will accompany the officer in a police car parade around the mall complex. The children will then be allotted 2 hours and $250 each inside Macy's, where along with their parents and their officer will shop for new school clothing. They will also be provided with a new backpack fully stocked with school supplies. Details and other related statistics concerning the police department during the month of June 2022 are reported in the attached police department records. Thank you.
I am muted. At this time, I was saying thank you to the mayor, and at this time, I would accept the motion to accept the mayor's report.
Second.
Simultaneously, I'll take it. Is there any discussion on the report? Let me just say that on the fire department end of that, that really was a tragedy, and I'm both. Our condolences, I'm sure, of all council go out to the family and the loss of their father/grandfather, and also, you know, I know it's our volunteer fire department, you know, put their lives on the line, and in moments like this, I think it's a real challenge, both at the intensity of the blaze, you know, wanting it, and the loss of life is difficult for them, and so I appreciate all that they do. And I know that comes from our council, so I just wanted to make that comment. Is there any other discussion from the mayor's report?
Who made the motion to accept the mayor's report?
I heard 2 voices, so at the same time, I heard a second from Brooke, and I don't know who the first came in the room.
I mean, I'll move to accept it, but I don't think we had a motion. I think that was just feedback. So
that's even better. So
just to make sure we have the record straight.
So I'll take that's Matt saying no one takes my second, but
I just want to make sure we had a motion.
So I got a motion from Matt and a second from Brooke. Is there any other discussion on the matter? Hearing none, all in favor?
I do have a question. Before we did that, I had one quick question for the mayor. He did say that there were about 1,000 calls in for service. Can he give a breakdown as to like what matters those calls were related to?
Well, to speak to that, if you're able to look at the statistics sheet, I'm not sure that everyone gets it. I believe that's now part of your binder. If you go through that, it has a list of all the police activity for the month. To be specific as to what those calls, I know it's broken down by streets as well.
Yeah, it's broken down by call volume, call location, and type of call for service, but it's probably in excess of 40 pages. So yeah, it would take some time to review that.
And I'll have that out to you tomorrow. It came to us this afternoon. I just haven't had a chance to put it together. Usually it is with the binder, but tomorrow you'll have it.
If you look through that, it lists all the calls, what they were. And that's where that information is.
Alex will get the data sheet out tomorrow.
Thanks.
Call.
As well as the report. It was a little,
I got
it was a little bit technical difficulties.
you. No worries. Any additional discussion, since we're gonna pause for a quick second? I know it was just about to call the question, but just to make sure, any other discussion items? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And motion carries without opposition. We're gonna move forward now to the treasury and paying the bills if we can.
Mr. President, I move to accept the treasurer's report for the month of June ending, for the month ending June 30th, 2022, and move to direct the finance officer to pay the bills for the borough of Churchill accrued since June 13th, 2022.
Second.
Thank you. I see people jumping on that second. You take it from at once, and next thing you know, everybody's on it. All right, is there any discussion? As a matter of course, before we head into any discussion, as you know, any bill totaling the amount of $15,000 or more, I will read publicly before we move into any additional discussion. It becomes a bit more moot, as I say, every time, because now it's printed and now it's projected out in front of everybody, but I still do it for that matter. This month we have three, the first being Gateway Engineers, the man that you see with this Dennis Flynn, getting him paid. This is for the June 22nd invoice in the amount of $23,082.50. Next, we have Bigliotti Landscape Construction. Again, this is for our June 2022 services, and this is in the amount of $20,079.03. And last but not least, we have MRM Trust for Workman's Comp Fund. As it says, it is the Workman's Comp for admin for our public police. And that's the amount of $15,842.58. There are additional bills that you can view online as well. Anything that went 5,000 and up at this point. That being said, is there any additional discussion on either the treasurer's report or the finance officer to pay the bills? I'm giving the extra second this time. All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motions are accepted. The treasury report is accepted and the bills shall be paid. This moves us forward now to action item regarding Penn Joint, just the ordinance extending.
Mr. President, I would make a motion to direct the borough manager to advertise the ordinance extending the life of Wilkins Penn Joint Water Authority.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this matter? Seems somewhat self-explanatory, especially this is just to advertise, but is there any additional discussion? Hearing none. Oh, did I jump it again? Did I hear something?
Nope.
Just checking. You should also know that in my wonderful illness, I've lost like 80% of the hearing in my left ear and 50% in my right ear. So this is very fun for me. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And motion carries without opposition. Moving forward on the agenda, if there's any discussion, we'll start our way through staff first on reporting, beginning with Mr. Flynn.
Nothing too new. We spoke last week about the paving program. There is a kickoff meeting this week, and we anticipate the contractor to start at the end of this month or the very beginning of August. And then regarding the sinkhole near Branning, the contractor is expected to start on that work and preparing the road towards the end of this week.
Thank you. Mr. Manager, anything at the table today?
Further than what is included in the report.
You, Mr. Solicitor,
Nothing, Mr. President.
you, I believe, the chief is there. Is there anything that we should know today, sir?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. I will make I'll wait to the end to make my last comment. Any other comments on committee reports or any statements from committee?
Communications committee, just thanks for Alex for providing this information. Social media stats, we have 247 followers on Facebook. LinkedIn has 41 followers. YouTube has 67 followers. And Savvy Citizen has 1,023 followers. And Instagram, which we now recently opened, has 43 followers. So if you're on Instagram, give us a follow and tell all your friends about Savvy Citizen, since we are trying to keep growing it.
Awesome. Quick question. Have we used Savvy Citizen to push any of our other social media formats?
YouTube.
Yeah, we've been pushing YouTube. We did one also last week, I think, to launch the
Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram push.
Yep.
Well, just wondering off of curiosity.
Yeah, but we do want to cross pollinate as much as we can.
Yeah.
Yep, gotcha.
You know how many are Churchill residents?
I don't think that data is newer. I know that at some point it was like 400-ish, because as Savvy Citizen, other people in other boroughs can also sign up for it. And then we have to ask Savvy Citizen for reports specifically to Churchill residents. So that number has not been updated since I think probably like 2 months ago. Probably gone up since.
Gotcha.
We can get that updated information.
Any other committee comments, questions? Hearing none. Anyone have any other additional kind of comments they want to make around the table? I will make one, and then I will seek a motion to adjourn if nobody else.
I don't know if Deb's on tonight or not, but and I'm not sure if it's gone out on Savvy Citizen, but September 25th. It's I'm not sure the name anymore now. It's Community Day in Churchill Borough, which will be at the St. John
Sunday Fun Day.
Fisher. Pardon me?
Sunday Fun Day.
Sunday Fun Day. No, there was a couple things about that. So mark that date on your calendar. Sunday, September 25th. I believe it's 12 to 4 at St. John Fisher. So there'll be activities for kids, live entertainment, food trucks. So it's not going to replace the annual community day, which we've been on hold for 2 years. It was just a little something that, thrown together. I know Deb Klein, the rec department pulled that together, did a lot of work. Actually put a lot of hours into that, pulling that together. So mark that calendar down on your calendar.
And Mayor, if I can add, you all are looking for volunteers as well. So any community residents that are able to volunteer for that day, do you know where they could go to sign up?
You can contact Deb Klein. She's on the rec board, or any member of the rec board, or myself. I can pass that information on. And thank you for mentioning that.
Excellent. Anyone else have any other additional comments? Then, as always, what keeps you from either logging off or going home is me, so I will be exceptionally brief. Just two things very, very quickly. First of all, three things. First of all, don't forget July 20th, day the man landed on the moon. For those of you who don't know, I always point that out. It's also my birthday, kind of side note. Second thing is this summer, for families at home, if you are looking for an activity for your kids heading into the fall, the registration will open for Woodland Hills Youth Soccer. I have spent 12, 13 years coaching there, and it's great for the kids. They're a really great time. And so if you want to get your kids involved in soccer, feel free, go to kind of woodlandhillssoccer.org and sign up online, or just contact me directly or anyone there. That'll be great. And then third, I just want to send again my condolences to our head of public works. We've had a loss in his family, and he's a wonderful guy, and I know his mother meant the world, and so I just send my condolences directly to him, and I know it comes from all of us. So that being the case, any other comments before I look for the motion? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, game, set, match, people. Thank you all for your time. Have a wonderful July. Remember July 20th, day the man landed on the moon. July 1969, no joke, my actual day. Take care, everybody.
All right.